Oh, I love it. I love coming into this school. It warms my heart every morning when I walk in with my son, and it actually is hard for me to leave. I love the feeling that I get when I am in these doors, and I think my kids do too. And it's a nice place to be, and it's a nice place to know I'm leaving my child.
We came for a visit, and we walked through the classroom, and we just saw, how her eyes lit up, and she touched things, and we couldn't stop her from touching things and wanting to do and be a part of it. And so we knew early on that it was a good fit for us.
The energy level's high, but at the same time it's calm. It's like organized, it's very organized. It's an environment where when the door opens, most of the kids don't even notice because they're so enthralled with what they're doing.
That type of excitement and that enthusiasm for learning in the classroom is just amazing. And they're excited to come to school every day, and as a parent that feels really good.
You observe kids working together on projects. You observe kids working independently on projects. You observe teachers hands-on with certain groups of kids, whether it's math, numbers, cursive writing, arts and crafts. No matter what it is, the teachers are very involved, providing help, providing feedback, providing examples. And then once the child has the opportunity to do that lesson, they have the freedom to go back to that lesson as often as they want and to work with other students to help other students learn about that lesson as well, which really gives them even greater confidence because they're not only the student, they're the teacher.
For my oldest daughter, she is more quiet and reserved, and she's the person who likes to be caring and nurturing and, help the other students. And they're able to capitalize on that and give her lessons inside of that. So if she needs to work on math, they can direct her to kind of help one of the other students with their math, in a way that caters to the fact that she wants to be helpful and nurturing, but at the same time she's able to learn by doing. So she's learning by teaching others and learning by doing herself. And I think that's the part of the Montessori environment that is so helpful to her that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
We don't have homework at Montessori because they know their responsibilities. They know that they need to read this book and they need to get it done. And so they bring home their own work that they choose to bring home so that it can be completed so that they can move on to the next activity that they're so excited for. So it's their own personal drive that is being created within themselves because of the responsibility that they're allowed to have and take on.
We really decided at the point that we had kids that we wanted them to go to Montessori. And the thing that it really did for our kids is that it lit a fire in them for education, and they really became independent learners. They also developed a certain self-discipline, and I think they just really felt good about themselves. So it provided an extraordinary foundation for them for their future educational opportunities and ultimately their career.
I think what makes this place so special is one, the teachers. The teachers and the assistants, they're also caring, and they are Montessori trained. But is important, I think, they all have the same philosophy and the same goals, and that's to teach children to love to learn. And they have been successful in their efforts of teaching the children to love to learn.
Their relationship with their teacher is one where they look at this individual as somebody that they can trust, somebody that they can rely on.
I feel better going off to work and being able to do that, knowing that my children are in an environment with people who really genuinely care about them. Everybody in the school knows everybody.
It's like a family, and you know that they are looking out for the best interests of your child. They want to see your child succeed more than anything. And to me, that is something that you can't put a price on.
It's key, I think, to raising a well-rounded child, that they know that their expectations are the same no matter what their environment. And it's been really helpful for my children to have that owning some responsibility, taking responsibility, and having responsibility.
We learn how to be patient and let them do their own thing. And as a mom, you want to have to do for them. You always want to do everything for them. Let me tie your shoe. Let me zip your coat. Let me do all that. And our children are very self-sufficient now. They don't want us to help them do anything, which is still kind of difficult to adjust to, but definitely beneficial for them.
It is wild that you can get 2 5-year-olds up in the morning, get them dressed, they put their own coats on, they help make their own breakfast, they clean up after breakfast, they're ready to go into the car. Sometimes they even help make their own lunch at 4 or 5 years old. They want to get to school. Every day they want to come here.
I'm probably the #1 user of the childcare because I am a full-time working mom. So I drop off in Richland at about 7:20 every morning, and Charlie walks in that door so happy to see his teacher. He gives his teacher a hug. And then I pick up at about 5:30 or 6 o'clock every night. And those kids, I love it. For me, one, the child isn't transported anywhere. I know exactly where my child is at all times, and I know the environment that they're in is safe because it's the same environment. So the expectations for my child throughout the day never change. The rules are set, the boundaries are set, and I think especially when your child is young, those boundaries are so important.
I had opportunities where we dropped the kids off early and have picked them up later in the evening as well. And it's been great. They've been very supportive. The kids enjoy it because they just continue to do their lessons and play and hang out with their teachers. And for my wife and I, it's great because we have the flexibility to know that we don't have to be here at 8:45. We could drop them off at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and that they're going to start their day.
The children have a lot of extracurricular classes as well. China Club being one that was, it's just a great experience where they get to learn Chinese, they get to learn about China, they get to learn about Chinese food and just the whole culture. And that is absolutely fantastic. There's also an art club, so that's really fascinating to see what kind of work can come from there. There's so many. So my kids obviously aren't involved in all of them, but one that I have chosen to have, actually my son chose to be a part of, is piano lessons.
So you have the ethnic giving feast, and so they try other people's foods and they talk about the things. We go to a restaurant somewhere and they say, well, I've had that because, you know, such and such's mom made that for us. So I definitely think they're exposed to a lot of different cultures that definitely enriches their lives.
The diversity of culture at the Montessori school is huge. There's families from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life. It's a school that is encompassing of different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds. One of my kids came home about a month ago and said one of the fathers came in and taught them all about Hanukkah. So they had an opportunity to learn about the dreidel and the menorah. And a month before that, an Indian mother came in and provided a fully cooked Indian meal and talked to them about their wardrobe and about their culture. The environment is one where there's a lot of different things going on, where the kids are learning not only about reading and writing, but they're learning about people and valuing people for who they are as individuals. So I think the culture here is one that is very strong, one that is very solid, and one that's very diversified.
It's pretty clear to me that the best investment that we made was Montessori. It provided the highest return. It created that foundation for them that allowed them to really succeed in their other educational endeavors and now in their careers. So we really looked at the investment in Montessori, and it was tough at the time because it's not insignificant, but when you look at it now, looking back 25 years, it was really key, and it was the best investment that we made in education.
The foundation that they're building today, once again, pays off big dividends later. And in fact, the test scores with kids that have gone through the Montessori program are dramatically higher in a lot of regards in terms of reading and math at the 6th and 8th grade levels than their peers that had not attended the Montessori school.
And so we looked at, you know, what is the result of a child experiencing the Montessori school. And I have to tell you, it was one of the key factors of us continuing to explore Montessori education, and that is the success that a child has. When they come through Montessori, the fifth graders are testing in high school levels. The fourth graders are testing at high school levels in their standardized tests.
Probably the best investment we can make in our grandchildren is setting aside funds so that their kids can go to Montessori.
It's just so warm, it's so nurturing. Your kids will thrive and blossom. I've watched, what I already knew were beautiful flowers, blossom and turn into, a bouquet.
It's a school where kids are taught to succeed and where they want to succeed. And if you really want your kids to succeed, then the Montessori, in my opinion, the Montessori school is where you really have to put them.
Well, I would tell you to come here because this place is full of love, nurture, growth, and learning. And this school provides all of that and so much more to your child. It gives your child the opportunity to express all that's within them and more. You will watch amazing things happen within your child if you choose to come here, and you will be so excited by the result. I can guarantee it.